0800 Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Khalid here with another episode of Whatever In It.
Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 Yo fam, whatever in it? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 Yo fam, whatever in it?
0800 Yo fam at What's Good, What's Poppin', reporting live en las studio for 0800 Yo fam. You done know. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal? What's good? Today, it's mad still, but by the time this has come out, I've been obsessively and meticulously poring over my financial budget spreadsheet thing. I made it at the top of the year, like on the day that my MacBook was delivered. The same exact day my MacBook was delivered, I decided to really take a closer look at my finances and have a little dig around and see what things I could do less of and basically have a spring clean. And I'll be honest with you, I've been following that same budget and plan, some minor hiccups here and there for the past, this will be the 10th month I'm going into, and it's amazing to think, when you actually promise yourself something and you exercise discipline and you're very strict, the amount of power and relief you give yourself is just amazing. I can't lie. So fast forward to over the weekend, and today I'm going through this document, whatever, updating like totals and whatnot, and I'm realizing that in about 2 to 3 months alone, I've brought it down by like several grand, which is dope, I can't lie. But then it also had me thinking, because I've been doing so much admin based stuff, like, you know, uploading tracks to Bandcamp, releasing albums and books and stuff here and there, although I haven't had much traction with a lot of those things, it's gotten me into the mindset of like, is my money really working the way I want it to work? Because it's like, the more you work on your personal endeavors, like stuff that if money wasn't an object, you'll be doing these things. It's that sort of endeavors I'm talking about, not like, you know, your 9 to 5 or whatever you're contracted to with the company you work for type of work. It's like, the more you do that, you start to think, you know, how can I leverage time to do more of this and this be my lifestyle and shit? And it really got me into a space of thinking, is my money working for me? And to be honest, the answer was no. My money weren't working for me because I had burnt myself doing particular things, or, you know, everyone makes particular mistakes, whether it be credit cards or, you know, stuff like that, and you're trying to clean it up and get back on the straight and narrow. But in doing so, for like 2 years, I've denied myself of any form of like new credit line in terms of credit cards and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, if I'm gonna spend, why not spend or make big purchases in a way that I'm rewarded for these big spends, and also I'm covered by these big spends. So I spent the whole weekend researching a new credit card that you get cash back for, and it will be used like once I make a transaction, the money just gets transferred straight onto the card and stuff, because we don't want to pay interest. Also, I went through probably around about 100 stock options, and at first I was just picking companies that I had heard of, companies that I had consumed or do consume and understand. But then I started going through specifically from that list, taking down the frequency of dividend payments, the dividend yield, so how much percentage are you paid of the shares you own. And I started building up a little list from that point. And from that, I started going into how much I regulated it in terms of my options would be comprised of the percentage that I get paid and the frequency that I get paid for owning the share. But the most important thing is, how much is the return on owning that piece of stock? And I found probably about 8 stock options. And I really sat down, calculated out the average of, quarterly, right? Of how much I would be due to get upon earning that particular share. And I found some really good options, I can't lie. And I'm not saying, run out and do this and that. It was a spare bit of change that I just put there, and I'm going to let it just simmer for months and see what happens, because ultimately I'm thinking, what I get paid, to wake up in the morning and, you go in and you sacrifice your own personal creative endeavors for other things. I feel like the lifestyle I want to live and what I get paid for not doing what I love doing in terms of my creative endeavors and things that make me feel free and not being in control of my own schedule and things like that. I feel like the sacrifice of time alone, it doesn't add up. And don't get it twisted, there are aspects of my job like I like what I do for a living. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't move me in the same way that writing, poetry, music, or just having the time to sit down, think, meditate and enjoy life. What I'm trying to say is, I'd probably rather be one of those people that have a bunch of money and no worries in the world so they can just do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very reserved person certain times and rare. So what I was trying to, or what I was working out was, I'm just creating different little plans that will allow me to not fast track there and get there faster, but just be smarter so I can tip the scales in terms of how can I create a comfortable life for myself and also leverage and put the balance of time in terms of, if we're talking about how much time that I give up from myself to others in reward for a paycheck, but tip the scale like more in favor of me. And you can only get there by being more frequent with the stuff you love doing, like in terms of like the freedom stuff, like my creative endeavors, like writing, poetry, this, that and a third. Like, you can only get there, I can only get there, or you can only get there by doing your thing that makes everything in life worth living, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying it from a bad place, like I'm not out here saying, I don't like my job. No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that I really am thinking, as I get older, I'm thinking about time, the energy and the reward, and trying to strike a balance in those areas and looking more down the route of, like, do I love what I do every day when I wake up in the morning, or am I always away with the theories, living in dream world, trying to manifest a dream or vision in my head? And what I'm saying is, like, in terms of your personal finances and your situation, if you don't sort out your financial situation, like you're leaving yourself 100 steps back, yeah, for you to be free to do whatever you want to do. And that was my mantra for why I always check my shit, like in terms of my spreadsheet, or why I created the plan in January, because I felt like I was on a conveyor belt or on a steam train, and I never stopped to take stock of what actually was incoming, what was going out. Like, I was hoarding money, but then the money, I wasn't getting a return on my investment. It's almost as though my money was in the bank, but someone else was making my money work for them, because they're, you know, borrowing the money to invest, a credit card, and doing this and that and a third. And I'm talking about in general, because it's like there's an equilibrium throw when it comes to money, if that makes sense. Like, we all got money in our accounts. Yeah, someone can have 100 G's in their account but not be able to touch it unless they book an appointment, because the money is there on the system in terms of data, but it's not actually in the bank, if that makes sense. Someone else is using that money, so the bank is using your money to get paid via interest for lending out portions of your little things. But on paper you have it, if that makes sense. So my point is, my plan is, you know what I'm saying? Just, I've picked a bunch of high dividend yield stocks, and the plan is, whenever, you know, after dividends start rolling in 4 months from now, or the next quarter, when these individual companies pay out stocks, it's to make that money just keep ticking over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, the plan is obviously to buy, like, you know, McDonald's shares or Coca-Cola, like staple household names with a high yield and whatnot. But for now, I've picked some really good companies that are relatively unknown to a lot of people, but I just want to see how it goes, because I think to myself, number one, the only way potentially to get more P's is either you're going to sacrifice more of your free time, which I do not want to do, because at the moment, like, 38 hours of my life is, you know, based in other places than, you know, a podcast or poetry or music or writing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna get another job, but I'm just gonna find a way that money can just work for me. You know what I'm saying? So whether that's through cashback, whether that's through you know, being smart with your P's, cutting down your outgoings, little investments ticking over and stuff like that. But in all honesty, I really need to find a way for, you know, this podcast, for the poetry, for the writing and all of that to pay off. You know, it just needs to happen. Like, I just want to wake up, put my feet up, record a podcast, bosh, you know, and it will happen. You just got to put in that work, got to have that hard work and dedication and vision, and it will come to life, innit? So whatever you're working on, have faith in it. You know what I'm saying? Have faith, have passion, have a vision, and continue working towards it, you know, because whatever you're doing that is not really like giving you purpose or direction in life, like, follow the divining rod of your intuition to what does. And that's why nowadays, to be honest, I used to hoard a lot of my creativity. Now I'm just like, whatever, innit? I've done this, boom, bash, boom, bash. It's out there in the world. And, you know, no one's purchased any books from my website. You know, probably no one's purchased it from iBooks or Kindle. I probably get about 10 streams a month across services. But at the same time, my shit's out there, yo. But anyway, you know, I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's important as creators, as people. Like, I feel like life is more than doing things that you're not really passionate about, if that makes sense. There's more to life than that. Like, everyone's got a purpose, so find your purpose. Like, I've found mine in some sort of way, and I'm still searching, But just find your purpose and be unapologetic about your pursuit for said purpose. You know what I'm saying? And people say money isn't everything. Don't get it twisted. It probably isn't. But in terms of buying your freedom from economic and obligatory slavery, you're going to have to, start building up that FU fund. You're going to have to being smart about your P's. Otherwise, I'm telling you, it's curtains. I remember who talked about the FU fund first. I think it was Dr. Boyce Watkins, right? From the, the Black Wealth School, Black Business School or something like that. Dr. Boyce Watkins first introduced me to the concept of having a FU fund, and I've been trying to have one ever since. Sometimes it could be, a FU fund could be like your investment money to invest into your business or invest into more equipment. You know what I'm saying? That you can generate funds to cut down your hours and, free yourself from the plantation, as it were. Because let's face it, there is more to life than waking up and kind of just, certain times just doing stuff you don't want to do, having conversations that you don't want to have. There's so much more to life, and it's all about being fulfilled in whatever you do. And the more, I'm not up here preaching, I'm just saying, because I'm that's my compass for whatever I do at the moment. Like, man is craving a purpose, and my purpose is writing and creation. So that's where my energy is flowing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, until next time, peace out, stay tuned, 0800yofam.com, done know the ting, out here, all day, every day. Books available online, books available from your favourite stores, music is out there, check the Bandcamp for the remixes, and, even if you don't tune in to a Twitch stream, I haven't done one of those in time, but even if you don't tune in or listen to the tunes and whatnot, just give man a little pity stream, you get me? Because the MPs can come in handy. I can't lie. I cannot lie. I did make a withdrawal from my DistroKid account today. It weren't like millions of dollars. It was probably like $19.59, and that's over the course of 4 years. So I'm not getting a lot of streams and whatnot, to be honest. But it is what it is when it drops in my 0800 YoFam business type account. I'm still gonna be proud of myself because that's stuff that I've created and generated to make that happen. Also, do you know what? I'm out. But yeah, like I said, find your purpose, go ham, and like I said, get your personal finances in order so you can escape whatever plantation or whatever system or matrix that you are in, because trust me, man, there's more to life than whatever we're doing out here. Anyway, peace.
Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 yo fam, whatever innit? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? Yo fam, what's good, what's poppin'? 0800 yo fam, whatever innit?